welcome to another podcast. This is your host Tawhid, and today we'll be talking about the global pandemic, which is coronavirus, and which has caused a global panic in the whole world. And we have our guest host today. This is Shivam from India, and he'll be sharing his thoughts regarding the effects of coronavirus in the world and in Russia and in India. So, what do you think about coronavirus? What do you know about coronavirus?
Coronavirus is a big type of disease which is
Uh-huh.
currently very famous all around the
Mhm.
world, and it is a human to human transmitted disease, and which has caused a lot of illnesses
Mhm.
throughout the world, and it has spread all across like 191 countries
Mhm.
in total, and it has caused like around 23,000 deaths in total until today. So this type of disease is nothing but it shows common symptoms of flu, cold, cough,
Mhm.
and other sort of just normal cold. But people don't understand like when to go to a doctor
Mhm.
and not. That's what I know about this disease.
Like, what do you think? Like, where it begins? It begins in China, right? So a lot of people is calling this a Chinese virus. They are not even accepting this is a virus which is caused by bats or normal animals. There are theories that it's developed in the lab in China. A lot of conspiracy theories also going around here and there, and like what we know about the history.
Barricaded and guarded by police with masks, Chinese authorities have traced a new deadly virus back to this seafood market in the city of Wuhan. They say a new strain of coronavirus originated here has struck dozens of people and put an entire region on edge. CNN has obtained this video filmed inside the market showing that more than seafood was on offer for sale. Images of the market from early December taken by a concerned customer indicate it was apparently selling other live wild animals, including skinned birds, snakes, and raccoon dogs, sparking concern that the virus might have been transmitted from animals to humans.
So what we know so far is this coronavirus started in a market, wet market in China, in Wuhan. There is a lot of animals. They kill these wild animals and consume these wild animals, and which is normal in China. But they used to keep bats, wild cats, and lot of animals there, right? So the coronavirus started by transmitting to animals to human, but later on the Chinese government, what they did, they didn't take it as serious issue. They didn't even let WHO and any other health organization. This could be a global pandemic, right? So what happened? So they hid this news. We know there was a Chinese doctor who came to social media and informed the rest of the Chinese government and Chinese people that this is a global pandemic and we should take serious issues, but no one listened to him first. But when we know, like, what do we know? We know at the WHO confirmed this is a global pandemic in March 11.
11th of March. Yes.
11th of March, right? Before that, we saw a lot of news in the TV channels and a lot of other countries. They didn't even take it serious. The WHO declared, and they didn't wanted to declare this as a global pandemic. But when there was cases around more than 100,000 cases in the world, along in China there was about 80,000.
Actually,
And-
WHO should have declared this disease
Uh-huh.
as pandemic quite early,
Mm-hmm.
quite before, because since they didn't declare this disease as pandemic
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning of March
Mhm.
or end of February,
Uh-huh.
due to that reason, the countries all over the world, they couldn't take the precautionary
So what do you
measures.
think? Like, can we blame China really? Like, they didn't take serious issue or they didn't do anything because we have a record. Like, this is not new for us, right? I know, like, we know that coronavirus, COVID, which is COVID-19. Why is it called COVID-19? Because it started in 2019, right? But there was a virus which is from the same group, what we know named as SARS, right? So this SARS virus started in 2002 and it caused 774 deaths around 29 countries, and there was more than 8,000 cases in the whole world. But that time it started the same way, from the wet market to the normal human beings, and it spread it. But the death rate of the Zar virus was 10%. But for this coronavirus, the death rate is 2%. But what makes it worse, what makes it very dangerous, that it's contagious. It's contaminating to people way faster, like literally from touching one another hands, by sneezing, by literally there are facts that it supports now. They are saying that this virus is on the air and it can be caused by air,
No,
right?
it's not an airborne disease.
Airborne.
It's
Why
not
do
an
you think so?
It's not an airborne disease because the statistics of the World Health Organization, they don't consider this disease as an airborne, because it is transmitted through human to human. Like for example, when a person sneezes or he coughs, so those small particles, which are eliminated, and the other person catches those particles, and then he touches his ear, nose, eyes, whatever.
No, but can you, like, let's say it started in China, right?
Yeah.
But now it's all over how many countries got affected?
191.
191. Imagine that. First one country, from one country to 191 country. So did our government and rest of the country take another measures to prevent this from happening?
This is what I said to you earlier, like the World Health Organization should have declared this disease as pandemic in the month of February, actually, because they knew like what was happening in China, and they were well aware of the situation in China, and the Chinese government took the efforts to stop the spreading of the disease.
But here what we can say, like, it started in China. There are more than 80,000 cases in March. It started to decline.
Yes.
But what happened now? We don't hear any news in China. We don't hear any pandemic or panicking news in China. What's causing panics now? There is cases, like thousands of cases in Italy. How like more than 9,000 people have died in Italy alone. So, and today we have recent news that in United States it became the #1 country to be the affected country in the world, which is over 100,000. So that's a lot of cases in United States, right? So what do you think? Like, the president, what we know, the president of United States, he said this is a Chinese virus. He doesn't ready to accept this is.
Because he's accurate.
Why? What do you think so?
Because that's where it came from.
No, I will also like to discuss one more thing. Like, there are a lot of racism caused because of this virus, because a lot of people believe, because of the eating habits of China, and because it started from China, they started to hate Chinese people all around the world. Do you think it's moral?
No, it's not fair to discriminate people. But the thing is, we should never forget that the origin of the virus. The virus came from China itself.
So what do you think?
But China also took the precautionary measures that, as you mentioned, of eating habits. And first of all, the eating habits is not like they do it intentionally. It's one of the cultural part. So the Chinese government just passed a bill a few days ago that they will ban every
wild animals, catching and consuming wild animals.
Import and export of wild animals.
So today I would like to share you some information, what we know today. From March 11th, when the WHO declared this a global pandemic, there was like 118,000 cases all around the world. And just in 17 days, we have now 640,000 cases all around the world. It increased 500,000. Imagine that, and it cost 28,000 deaths. So what we know, it's a global, serious issue, and now we are panicking. We don't know what to do. We don't have any medicine. We don't have any vaccine. We can't cure this vaccine with antibiotics because antibiotics doesn't work in virus. It works only in bacteria. So what do you think? What holds our future? What's the future of our history?
The future is unknown for this disease, but all we can do is support the government and follow the precautionary measures highlighted by the government of every country, and the best way to control the spread of this disease
Mhm.
is to stay at home.
Okay, so here's the deal. You're from India, right? So can you tell me what's happening in India and how they're preventing? Because what we know is like India is a place to host 1.3 billion people in his region, right? And we don't see a lot of cases there. Like how they are doing this precaution and how they are preventing this virus to spread.
Indian government actually did is they put the entire country into lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So that means like there's only hospitals
Mm-hmm.
and medical stores and grocery stores
Mhm.
are open,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest whole country is under lockdown,
Mm-hmm.
which like it means in short that no one can go even outside,
Mm-hmm.
because if you go outside the police won't let you go
Mhm.
anywhere. They'll just say you to go back to your home.
It's like a curfew.
It's like curfew, yeah.
All right. So I think this is the only way that a country, it's not like the first world country, it's not a very rich region, and a lot of people from different beliefs, it's very dangerous to contain this virus when you have it. So it's best to contain this virus even before it started. To prevent is better than curing something, right? So what about the rest of the country? What do you think? Like, before it started in China, the people of United States, they used to say like this is caused, people of China used to say this is caused by United States, military of United States. They did this intentionally to cause a crisis in Chinese economy, to let the Chinese economy down and United States economy go high. But what we're seeing now, it's totally different. It's totally the opposite side. What happened? When it started, the Chinese economy went really down, and now it's increasing, right? Increasing day by day, and the rest of the country are panicking, and they don't have any decision to make what to do, and their economy is going down because the whole country and the whole nation, you can say the whole world is under lockdown. And since we live in Russia, what do you think about Russia? Are the government taking a measure to
Government
prevent?
just recently have started to take measures to counter this virus,
Mhm.
but let's see like how the virus goes, because from today
Mhm.
till 5th of April
Mhm.
there's a lockdown, temporary lockdown, not the entire lockdown. So that means like the medical stores are open, grocery stores are open, and all the public transports are running
Mhm.
regularly. So and the recent news is about they can continue this restrictions.
Okay. So, I would like to. It's kind of funny, but I would like to tell you, like, it's like we see a lot of news from Russian Today and BBC. Like Indian people are getting crazy. They have crazy, what do you call, crazy thinkings. What they're doing, like they're literally drinking cow's pee, and they're like different kind of religious beliefs. So, like, what do you think? Like, what's going on there? What do you think?
I'm not sure because
Even in Russia, what's there? There are a lot of old people, over 80 and 70. Some people are literally burning something, and they're doing rituals, and they believe that it's going to stop the coronavirus. What do you think? What
this
kind
is
of
the
message do
thing,
you
like,
have?
even if you have rituals or like whatever beliefs you have, the thing is, therefore the government already, every country has its own superstitions and facts. So that therefore following these superstitions won't cure this virus. There is no cure for this virus. So therefore the country has put under the lockdown. That's it.
So what we know for today, like there is 104,000 cases in United States, and 1,704 people died in the United States, and in Italy it cost 86,000 people, and it cost 9,134 deaths. But which this virus started in China, there is only 18,394, like, which is really really low, because what like we have, there is in that region we have 1.4 billion people, but only a minimal amount of people are affected by this coronavirus, and the recovered rate is really high too. There 137,000 people is recovered. So what do you think, like, how is the global economic crisis happening, and what do you think, like, if every country take measures and precaution and they do this, they follow the same rule to lock down the whole country, what's going to happen? Like, we're going to run out of food, we don't have any drinking water, we are out of money, we are out of economy. Like, there are rich people, but what do you think about the poor people? They don't. There are some people in region like India, like in Russia too, in our country. So what do you think? What's going to happen? Like, they're going to run out of food. If they don't die of disease, they're going to die of food. What do you think about this? What can we do? Like, what do you think? What can we do? There is no solution for this. What we know from now, it's like I read a report on this. What's going to happen? What's hold our future? So in this report, they say, for now, we don't have any cure for this. And it's like in the United States, they already trial some of the vaccines, which is on trial, which is not ready to practice or to give it to the patients. So to produce mass amount of vaccines, it still needs around 16 to 18 months. During this month, what can we do? Like, what do you think what the government or what normal people should do, and how we can fight against this virus?
All we can do is just follow the measures given by the government.
What are the measures that the government asks us to do? What can we follow?
The government is simply asking you to stay at home and avoid public gatherings. And that's
what I'm saying. Like, if you follow these rules,
it will slow down the spread of
slow down. But how long? It's a short term. It's not for long term. Just like I said now, it's gonna cost you 16 to 18 months to produce vaccines. Before that, it's not going. We can slow down this.
But the scientists are already in the race of producing an antibiotic, which is called as RNA. So that isn't a vaccine, but that's a sort of medicine which which improves our immune system to fight against the virus.
Okay. So for now, what we know is like we are in serious danger. It's gonna change the course of our history of time. Yeah, so we would like to conclude our podcast by saying we know this is a serious issue in the world. It's a global pandemic. It's a time to panic. But what we can do? We don't know what's the future for us. How this virus is going to end and when the vaccine will be produced. But for now, what we can do? We can stay home, stay with our family, take care of each other, and not to get panicked. Keep yourself updated with the latest information, and God have mercy on us. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care of yourself, guys.